Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name's Emma Byrne and I'm the Business Development Manager at Heartland Seniors Finance. Today what we're going to be doing is a broker portal guide and tutorial. So what we'll be looking at today is a general overview of the site itself. I want to go through a step-by-step guide on how to actually submit the application, and we'll go into a bit of detail on some of the fields there as well. Signing the application, I've popped this in here because our requirements have changed from what they used to be in the past with our paper-based form. And then finally finishing on a summary of the process. So what I'll do is I am going to quickly share what the broker portal looks like and we will jump right in. Okay, so I'll just go back to the main screen. So what we have here is our sign-in section. So you have your email and password, which you will be given. I forgot your password section. And then we also do have our links here for new brokers if they do want information on how to become a broker and how to become accredited, as well as our contact details as well. So I will just quickly jump in and it'll just take a few moments to set everything up and then we'll go through. Okay, so when you sign in, the first page that you'll see is your dashboard. So there's a few things to note on this dashboard. We have our main body down here, which will show all of your unsubmitted applications. So if you do see files that are populating here, it's a good prompt that you do have applications that you've started working on, but we don't have them yet in our office. You'll need to go in, finalize those applications and make sure you submit. Once you've submitted an application, it will disappear from this list, and that's how you will know that that's gone through. So we have our two buttons on the main screen here. So we have our applications button, which will take you to our applications tab. We have our create a new application button, which when clicking it opens up the application form. And then we do have a chat with us section here, and you're able to access the different tabs as well. So I'll just quickly go back to the unsubmitted application section. A few features that you'll be able to see is you are able to see a brief overview of the important information. So for example, you'll be able to see what customer that you have here and also a contact detail there in case you would like to send them an email, and then a brief overview of what they're requesting. You'll notice on the left-hand side, we have these little edit application icons. So when you click on the edit application icon, it will bring up that particular application and you're able to go through and amend, make changes and add information as you need. Up the top, we have our different tabs. So we have the dashboard, which we're on now, the applications tab, the resources tab, and the help tab. So the applications tab, again, remembering you can just click the button here, is home to all of your applications. So this will be submitted and unsubmitted alike. A few features to point out: we have our search function here to allow you to quickly locate a particular customer. We have our page numbers down here to easily access extra pages and more customers. And we do have a little plus icon here. So clicking on this will open up an application and you're able to start one from here as well. Similar to the dashboard, we have a brief overview of the main pieces of information. So again, your client name, email, and then a brief overview. What you'll notice here is you've got your date created, and then you've also got these icons on the left-hand side again. So we do have the edit application icon for applications that have not yet been submitted. Again, clicking on that will open the application so that you can edit. And then we also have this icon here, which is a printer, and that will allow you to print or save as a PDF, whichever you'd like. And that's just a in-depth summary of, the whole application, all of the information that you've popped through. Okay, so we have our resources tab, which is home to our marketing tools and a link to our lending system. And then again, our help tab up the top, which has our contact broker support details. Okay, so what I want to go through now is a brief overview of the application, and we'll go through step by step of each of the fields. So when you're opening up an application, and I've just opened one up that has been in the works, you'll notice a few things. So if you have a look on the left-hand side here, you have quick links to jump to different sections of your application. You have little green ticks. Now, you'll only receive a green tick if you've fully completed that section. If you haven't got a green tick, such as here with the personal details tab, that means that you are missing something in here and you'll need to go through and edit that before moving on. So for example, in this tab, I haven't completed this question and therefore I haven't received the green tick. Okay, so I do want to go through each of these tabs, but look, there'll be some sections that are quite self-explanatory and I'll just skim through, but there will be a few sections that I do want to bring some attention to. So starting off here, we have our loan amount requested. So how many borrowers do you have? The age of the borrower. Look, we've got a tab here that says, you know, minimum age is 60 years old. If you were to put in, say, 59, for example, you would get a banner. We have our home value. Again, it will alert you if you go under the minimum of 200,000. Such as there. And then our postcode here. So this is actually a really cool feature. Some brokers that have you know, submitted deals with us in the past may be familiar with our postcode lookup tool. It is available still, but this is just a much easier way of checking your postcode, making sure that it is in an area that we are able to lend to, and it does work off a traffic light basis. So green, you're good to go. Orange, there is a medium risk, we may need some scaling, and red is quite a highlighted risk. I'm not going to say that, you know, it's an absolute no. If you do get a red, you know, just making sure that you do contact us at brokers@seniusfinance.com.au, and we will be able to assist you with that one. So for example, I'll just quickly pop in a orange postcode. It pops that up, you know, thank you, looks like we may be able to help. Give us a call on 1300 662 835 or the broker's email. And then lastly, an example for our red postcode there. We do not offer reverse mortgages, but I would still urge you to contact our broker team. There may be mitigances that we can do to help your customer. Okay. Moving on to the next stage, we have our loan type. So we have 3 different offers that we can provide our reverse mortgage customers. You have a standard reverse mortgage, an aged care loan, or a secondary property loan. So just selecting which one pertains to your particular customer. And then you will also see here that it does pre-calculate their maximum borrowing amount based off the information that you've put in the tab prior. So in this case, they're able to borrow a maximum of $200,000 for a standard reverse mortgage. It will change as we do have different requirements on what they can borrow with the different offers. For example, in aged care, they are entitled to an extra 5% to the standard LVR, which means that they're able to borrow a maximum of $240,000. And then our secondary property loan, there is a scaling relating to that. So in this case, it would be $150,000 rather than $200,000. Down the bottom, just pop in your amount requested and moving on to the next stage. So this is your introducer section. So this is a really important section to make sure that you go through with your customer all of these helpful links, making sure that you do open up the important considerations and read through, and then also making sure that the customer has read and understood the privacy statement. The next section here will be something that you will need to make sure you're completing every loan. So this section here will help you to base your conversations with the customer. So there are dot points here to make sure that you have covered off. And then there's also a section down the bottom whereby you're able to add details. Now this can be details about these questions, your conversation, but it's also going to be important to put any details that you're unable to convey in any of the fields here. So if you do, get down to the bottom, or you're going through and you notice that you want to make a comment about something in particular, jump back to this stage and just pop in a quick comment, and we'll be able to add that and send it over to the assessor. Certification, quite straightforward, making sure you're ticking all of the boxes before proceeding. Okay, personal details, I'll just skim through. Look, it's quite self-explanatory. Putting in your customer details, making sure all of the relevant fields have been marked. And I'll just tick this one as well. And you'll notice once I ticked that, the green tick there has populated. Okay, power of attorney / administrator. Again, this field, I will show you an example. Personal details, I believe. Okay, yes, up the top. So you will have this question at the top of the personal details screen. Is an attorney or administrator submitting this application on behalf of the applicant? I've selected yes. And what that means is that in the next screen, this section will have populated. If you were to select no, it will not populate. It will just have something to say, you're not required to complete this section. Please move on to the next section. If you have popped it in there, this is what it will look like. Again, just putting in the details of the power of attorney and all of their contact details. You will have to specify which applicant that they're an attorney of. So just simple as putting their first and last name in there and moving on. Property information pertaining to their security property, following the prompts, and then also adding details as they come through. You're able to enter, an equity protection option, and it'll also give you a brief explanation as to what that is. So you're able to put that percentage in there, and then again, just clicking through the prompts. Loan obligations, tick boxes, making sure that you're confirming these questions with the client and that they have a full understanding. Use of funds, so this is where you can break up or structure their loan funds. With each of our 3 offers, so with our standard reverse mortgage, our aged care loan, and our secondary property loan, customers are able to access funds in 3 different ways. So we have our lump sum, which they do need to take a minimum of $5,000 at the top here. So what you're able to do is select from a drop-down list of reasons or loan purposes, and then selecting or inputting the amount pertaining to that purpose. I have put in home improvements of $40,000 and debt consolidation of $60,000. You are able to add more, and you are able to remove them as well if you want to get rid of them. Good to note at the top here, it just reinstates their maximum loan amount. So make sure that once you do get to the bottom, it does not exceed that amount. After you've popped in a few, it will give you a total of the initial advance, and then you can opt to add a regular advance facility. Ticking yes will expand this field, and you can put in, $5,000 a month for 5 years, and it'll give you a total, for example. And then the last funding option is the cash reserve. So I have selected yes, which has expanded this field here. So you'll just have to nominate how much your customer would like in reserve, and then also provide some details on what that cash reserve is for. At the very bottom, I'll give you a sum of your total requested advances against what their max borrowing is. So just make sure that, that this top figure does not exceed that figure. We have popped in our fee schedule and our product guide, because that could help base some of the conversation surrounding this page. But quickly, before I move on to the next page, I'll just quickly note there is a little tick down here And you'll notice that as you go through each of the stages of the application form, that tick will continue to pop up. And that just essentially means that it is auto saving as you go. So there's no actual save button, but it will save as you go. So if you do close out, or if your internet drops out or something like that, it's just going to be there, and you don't have to worry about actually saving it. Okay, use of funds declarations. Again, following the prompts, making sure you're having these conversations with the client and selecting what they have advised. Again, there's some more links to our website, fee schedule and all of that. Future needs, this is very important. We need to make sure that our customers have a full understanding of what it means to take out the reverse mortgage and what that could do to impact their potential for future needs. So these questions will just help you to base that conversation, make sure that you're covering off all of the things that you need to cover off. You will need to put in the details of your conversation and make sure that they completely fully understand everything to do with the reverse mortgage and what that means for them. Income and expenditure, so you're able to select this one and let us know what they are getting in terms of income. 90% of our customers do receive a pension, so if it's just a pension, that is perfectly fine popping that in, but you are able to select from a myriad of different reasons, as well as another section there if it is a different one to what's listed. We've got our assets and liability section. So you are able to select from a list of different reasons, or again, you can specify your own reason, your own asset, and then putting in the value of that asset there. We have our liabilities. So you are again able to select a different type of debt and then putting in the value. And then for credit cards, for example, we will ask for that card provider. You have your little bin button there as well if you do accidentally put one in. If you do put one in and then you just decide to delete it, you will actually need to completely get rid of the field, because it won't give you the green tick after that time. Okay, and then again, just following through property rates, home insurances, and all of that. All right, emergency contact, we don't need to go through that. That's pretty self-explanatory. Solicitor details, you don't have to have your solicitor details at time of application. If you do, that is absolutely fabulous. We love that. You are able to select yes and open up that field. If not, perfectly fine. We can just organize that closer to approval / documents sent out. All right, nearly at the end. So we have our applicant declarations. So go through each of these with your customer just to get that final sign off. Again, we've popped in all of our links just so that if, in case they do ask you something, it's just easy to have it on hand. And then again, our fee schedule, product guide, and all of your ASIC requirements as well are linked in here. So once you've ticked all of these, you will be able to go to your next step, which is your final step, to upload your documents. So you've got a quick little reference here to, check off anything that's applicable to your customer. And then you're able to browse files that you've got in your computer, drop them in there, attach them. If you don't want to do it that way and you would prefer to email them, we're happy for you to email them to applications@seniorsfinance.com.au. Just make sure that you do provide some clear explanation that you have submitted your application on the broker portal, who your customer is, just so that we can link that information all together. Finally, you're able to select your commission type, upfront and trail commission or upfront commission, keeping in mind that if you have an aged care option, you will need to select upfront commission only, as we do not offer upfront and trail commission for aged care options. Finally, ticking that you have read and understood the application, that's with the customer, sorry, and just making sure that everything else has been ticked. You will be able to submit the application. If, for example, you have missed something and you're missing a green tick, this submit application button will be grayed over and you won't be able to submit. So you'll have to make sure that you go back and submit that. Okay, I think I will go back to my other screen and we'll just finish everything off. All right, so signing the application, I did want to touch base on this because we no longer require our customers to actually physically sign the application form with wet ink. So what we do is once you have submitted that application, your customer will receive an email, and in that email they will be prompted to follow a link, and that will just send something off to us to confirm that they firstly are aware of the application and that they accept that they have sent it in, or that their broker has sent it in, and that they're happy to proceed. So we will need this confirmation prior to approval. So obviously as soon as we can get it would be fabulous, but we're not going to not work on the file or not progress the file. Just make sure that you do have your customer do that confirmation prior to approval. So what that is I've just quickly put a screenshot in of what that might look like. So it will say, you know, dear customer, your broker, your name, I guess, has submitted an application on your behalf for a reverse mortgage. It will give them a brief summary, you know, just to make sure that those details are correct. We'll have their address and then a very brief summary of what their structure might look like. Down here, this is the one to refer them to, which will be, we would like to confirm some details of your application with you. Please click here to review and submit your application. So just making sure that they do follow that that link there and confirm those details prior to approval. All right, so I just, before we finish, I just wanted to quickly summarize the entire process. So once you receive a customer that is looking to proceed with a reverse mortgage application, going into the broker portal and creating a new application, entering their details, and then once you have gotten to the end, upload your supporting documents. Now remember, you can either upload them using the browse link in the actual broker portal, or you can send them to applications@seniorsfinance.com.au, submit the application, and then as soon as you've submitted the application, make sure that you advise your customer to check their email and follow the instructions, follow that link and confirm. And then from there, what will happen is you will just need to await the initial assessment email from us at Heartland Seniors Finance, and we will be able to finalize your application. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. So thank you so much for tuning in and hearing all about our new broker portal. We are very excited to receive applications from you all. If you do have any questions that were not covered in this, please feel free to give us a call. I've popped on my contact details as well as our broker support executive, Brody, and then also our general inquiries. All right, that's everything for today. Thank you, and hope to hear from you very soon.